Hi everyone, my name is Stuti Verma and I'm the director at Women Who Code Delhi and your host at Words and Worth Live. I believe that people are malleable. With enough hard work, dedication, and a bit of inspiration, you can achieve whatever you want. Our goal with Words and Worth Live is to introduce you to some very inspiring ladies in technology and give you a sneak peek into their journey. So, our guest for today is Dr. Amita Kapoor. In the year 1994, she first studied neural networks as part of her undergraduate course. She instantly fell in love with the neural networks and AI and ML, and the love sustained through those years. First at IIT Delhi, where she worked on knowledge representation and expert systems. Later, through her job duration, where along with many other papers, she got to teach neural networks and artificial intelligence to undergraduate students. So in 2013, she took advantage of the changing landscape and she relearned from the masters in AI ML. 5 years along the line, today she has many AI projects, research papers, and some amazing books under her name. So, friends, help me in welcoming today's guest, Dr. Amita Kapoor.
Thanks, Tuti, for your kind welcome. Thank you.
Ma'am, it's been an honor to have you here. So let's start discussing about
Yeah,
your
it's my
life
pleasure.
and your
It,
career.
thanks.
Um, as people say that some people dream of success while other people get up every morning and they dream of achieving success every day. So we want to know that about the years of effort and all the key ingredients that contributed to the making of Dr. Amita Kapoor.
Well, I guess the most important thing is perseverance. Never give up. That is very important because obviously life has its own way of taking things out. There will be ups, there will be downs. But if you do not give up, that is, I guess, what is the most important part. So you should have your goal very clear, priorities set what you want to achieve in life, and continue into that direction. Ultimately, you reach there.
Wow, great. So, tell us more about the difficult phase of your life. What were the milestones that you achieved and you felt like that you have moved away above in your life? So, what were thoughts then, and how did they affect you? And how were you able to find your strength in moments of lows and maintaining those difficult times, and how did you come up and how did you find your new strength?
Okay. Look, my first belief is that unless there are problems, you do not grow. So that was, I would say, I'm very lucky. I had a very good share of my problems, and they really helped me in growing. So that was, I would say, I have always been very lucky, and God has been really grateful to me because no matter what the problems are, I have always had somewhere, either in terms of my friends or something, to help me out, to show me the way, and to move in the right direction. And I guess that is most important. That even when the problems strike you, you are in the right direction.
Right.
So I would start with my graduation itself. It wasn't easy for me to complete my graduation, where I did fell in love with neural networks for the first time, but it wasn't easy. Why? Because I had certain issues in my family itself, and my family was not supportive of my education. So I decided to, means like I was forced to do my graduation on my own. So that was the first hurdle, but that taught me in the sense that you learn how to teach others. And I learned that teaching is my passion. When I started teaching students, I learned that teaching is my passion. So that was there. And then again, like obviously, I got job very early in my life. 96 itself, got the job, and I have been in the same job till now. And things have been pretty well. Again, ups and downs comes even in the official environment. There is politics, there are things like that. They come and they happen. The only thing is, how you deal with them. You do not take them. Okay, no one is letting me work. Let me stop. No, that should not be the attitude. Even if no one is letting you work, you have to work,
Right. Right.
because that is what makes you you.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just have to shut people off and let yourself move
Yes.
forward
Yeah. True.
as
So
yes.
close the door of your room. Just let the people who are positive enter inside and continue with your work.
Right, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So true. Okay. So moving on to our next question. As a teacher, do you
Hmm.
feel there is a requirement to upgrade current courses and teaching content?
Look, there are large number of courses which are required. If you talk in terms of what is needed in the coming future itself, right? And I would say, I would rather say, students are, coming up to that particular expectations. They are learning it through various means. Although universities are really very far behind even now to
Hmm.
maintain the curriculum with the recent standards. Even with IITs, I don't find that the curriculum is very recent. They are better than definitely University of Delhi, but even then the curriculum needs a lot of improvement. And most important, I feel, is the examination system, which needs a lot of improvement. It is still rote learning based, right? And it should be more logical based, because that is what is needed. Common sense and logic is two important requirements which are necessary. So that is what we should test about.
Right, right. And you have also been very active in learning online, and
Yes.
you have done a lot many certifications,
Yes.
and a self-taught learner is always most time goes to books or goes to online resources. So what online resources and what courses would you suggest
Look,
for?
I would say, first of all, one has to find their strength, right? So
Hmm.
I would say, instead of just directly going for a paid course, first of all, the person has to very see whether the person is really able to do that particular course or not. It's not necessarily that if AI is the boom, then AI is for everyone. Maybe you are more of a data scientist rather than an AI specialist. So person first has to find their own inner strength. So
Hmm.
there are large number of courses on EDX as well as Coursera, which one can do for audit. Even at Udacity, there are large number of courses. Then Khan Academy is there, which provides a good number of courses, especially the ones which build up the basis. So I would say, don't restrict yourself to one particular platform. Explore many. There's Class Central, which lists all the possible courses on that particular topic. So explore. The more you learn, the more you get. And then just don't think that video is enough, listening to video is enough. You have to read books as well. Unless you read books, the knowledge doesn't seep inside. Okay. Like video makes it easy to understand, but then to get the knowledge in depth, it's important to go through the books as well. So then read books, and then finally the last part is doing it yourself. Whatever you have learned, you have to try and do it yourself. Only then you really, get hang of it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So one needs to really explore more and more
Yes.
and find more depths of knowledge,
Yes.
and find where one's strength lies in their own expertise.
Yes.
So you also authored a book with a director in Google
Yeah.
Poland on TensorFlow and ML. So please take
Hmm.
us through that story and also tell us how you managed to find such an amazing opportunity.
Well, it started basically because I love to write. I always have loved to write. And obviously, when you start writing as a child, you write poems, you write stories. So I also used to do that. But slowly and slowly, my students always used to say, "Ma'am, you teach us so well, please give us some notes." So I always used to make my notes also. And then, okay, students used to take it. So then I started writing on blog, and some small things just related to AI and things like that. It was just kind of natural part of a thing.
Hmm.
Then one of the publisher, the acquisition editor from the publisher, they happened to go through my blog
Hmm.
when I shared it on LinkedIn,
Hmm.
and they liked it, what I had written. So then they contacted me with the offer, and then I met with the my co-author, and then we decided to go with it, and then we made everything, proposals and all, and it was kind of very tedious work for almost more than 6 to 8 months, but it was worth the effort.
Okay. And How actually did you find your way into ML and AI? So how did you find that uh, you know, as a teacher you need to uh, explore and move beyond your horizons, and move past the regular curriculum and learn
Yes,
something that's good in the market, and that's working right now and that's going to be.
true.
So how
Yeah.
did you explore that?
Look, for that, I would say one thing that helps me is I sleep very less, right? So I used to always study and read a lot. And somewhere when, as if you have gone through my resume, you will see that in 2013, I restarted doing machine learning,
Yes.
right? And my first course was with the Endru machine learning course. And although I had been teaching neural networks, machine learning is slightly different from neural networks. Okay. Uh, learning, but obviously, neural networks is a very inherent part of machine learning, and especially with the deep learning boom, neural networks are right bang on. Okay. So in 2013, the tilt was still more towards machine learning and less towards deep learning, because deep learning had not still, with the, with the computational resources and all that was required, deep learning was still not that much mainframe, although it had shown a good success in the ImageNet system. So one thing was, I guess that was the right time to start, because deep learning was still just coming up, and since I already had a very strong background in neural networks, it was very easy for me to shift into deep learning. And once I went through that course, you understood what is being used in the industry. So that is definitely one important part. And second important thing which happened was I joined Udacity, and I joined one of their courses in artificial intelligence. I would not say that I learned anything new in totality. It was a good course, no doubt about that. But what was important part was the projects which were there. So they are kind of, since they have industry partners, so their projects are very much linked with the recent state of art. So once I tried solving those projects, and I could see that, oh, it doesn't take me that much time. I'm able to do it in a day. So it kind of gave me confidence. Okay, fine, that means, normally what happens is, as an academics, you kind of stagnate because there's nothing new to learn. But because of this exposure, I realized, okay, fine, I'm not that old, I can still learn, and it's not really that difficult, and that gave me a lot of boost. And then I started back on the track.
Yes, ma'am. So, when you say that as an academic, one may feel to get stagnate, so
It's basically,
yeah,
we normally teach the same subject. Like, to be
yes,
very honest, I joined my teaching in 1996. Until 2003, I was teaching the same subject: semiconductor devices and neural networks. Nothing new. There
hmm,
was no change in syllabus. There was nothing changed. The only thing which used to change every year was the students who were sitting in front. Everything else used to be the same. And
yes,
obviously, a stage comes when you don't even have to open a book to take a lecture,
yes,
right?
because you become
So
so good at it.
yeah, you, I mean, everything is just, you can even give the lecture while sleeping, but then you stop learning, so that should not happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And also, ma'am, adding, being an academician is also an advantage because most of the use cases that people work upon comes from research areas that,
Yes.
where, 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 professors and scientists and research scientists
True.
and junior fellows, they have been working on this kind of use case since last so many years. And when it hits a boom, so then it becomes into the news and
Yes, and there's
yeah.
one more advantage of being in academics. You see, if you are ready to learn, because you have a lot of scope to learn out there, and
Mm,
as an academician, when you are, anything that new comes, you have an, access to learn that. Unlike industry, it's not that you're bounded by a deadline. So
hmm,
that is one of the great advantage of being in academics. You
hmm,
can always continue, read the new research papers, get yourself aligned with what is happening right now in the research field, and obviously contribute into that. So that
yeah,
is one of the greatest advantage of being in academics.
right. True. So, how do you manage to deal with stress and competition?
I am more of a meditation person. So normally I get up early in the morning and try to take out about 1 to 2 hours for my meditation.
Mm,
If possible, try to do some exercise also. That is not always possible, so I won't lie. Obviously I want to do it every day, but yeah, it is not possible with the exercise. But yeah, meditation I try and do, and I guess that helps in keeping you cool, deal up with the stress. Stress is part of life.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so, like in your life, you would have found different kind of priorities,
Hmm.
and priorities are different for different kind of people. So,
Yes.
tell us three most important things for you that you consider about everything else in life.
Okay, so here I would say priorities are very important, definitely.
Hmm.
Moreover, priorities change as you change, as you grow.
Hmm.
So obviously, when I was young, I was student. My priority was gaining education. Nothing else mattered. So no matter what anyone else in the world would say, whether my friends wanted to go to a party or something, no, I had to study because I wanted to study. So that was my priority. Okay, once that work is done, then I can do anything else. But that becomes the priority. Then when I joined as a teacher, the priority was obviously that I'm able to give best to my students, because somewhere students are almost like your kids. So
Hmm.
you want to do whatever is best for them. So definitely that became a priority, and I feel very happy that there are students, many of my students who are still in touch with me, and even now they interact with me and tell me about their personal life, what is happening in their life, and we stay in touch. So that ways I think it is good, and now we are more of a friend, obviously. But yes, that is a good part about being a teacher. And now in this particular stage, it's like once the books have been means like now, since I'm more into writing right now stage, I think it is more important for my priority that whatever knowledge I have gained, I'm able to impart it to
Hmm.
others. So that is right now my priority. Obviously in few years again it will change to something else.
Hmm.
So it changes with time, and then obviously family also remains always a priority. You cannot say, okay, I just have to have this priority and family has no place in it. No, that never
Hmm.
happens. You have
No.
to find a right balance between the family and whatever you want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, what is the best advice you have ever received in life?
Okay, my best advice was basically, one of my teacher. Teachers always are the best. They are the best guide. They give you the best advice always. So it was in my school. I had a physics teacher, and she was very close to me. She always used to help me out a lot, and like she will read my notes and all that stuff. So one thing which I learned from her was, obviously as a teacher you should be open to the students. You should not just debunk them when they come to you for help. If they're coming to you, listen to them and help them out whatever way you can. So that was one thing. But the important thing was, like, she used to quote to me a poem that life by the height by great means, I don't remember it exactly, but it was basically heights by great men reached and kept were not attained in a single flight. But they, while their companions slept, were toiling upwards in the night. And I remember those words, right? And I did that. Means like sometimes I used to sleep. Even now, sometimes I sleep only for 4 or 3 hours in the night, the whole day. But then I guess that keeps you running.
Hmm.
So you keep working towards your goal, and do it.
Right. So, given such an inspirational quote, what is your biggest inspiration in life?
I would say, like, I'm more of a romantic kind of a person. So, in my sense, I would say it has to be love. If love drives you, if it is a passion which is driving you, even in your career or even in your family, then you will always succeed. If it is not passion and you're just going about something because it's in hype, because everyone says so, then definitely there is no, means you may attain some level of success, but it will not be satisfying. So, I would say go for your passion, find your passion first, whatever that passion is, and then proceed into that direction. Okay, beside that you have to do many things. Means it's not that you always get a chance to do your passion, but
Hmm.
identifying your passion is very important, and doing something slowly and slowly in that direction is very very much important. So one should always think that by the time you are in your
Hmm.
midlife, by the time people say you reach your midlife, you
Hmm.
must have also explored your passion, and you are very much sure now what you want to do to the rest of your life. So
Right.
I guess that is important.
Right. So one must never stop himself or herself in
No,
trying out something new or finding what one loves and what
never,
one's interested in.
never. Yeah, so never give up and continue finding. Means if you have not found, just go on exploring. You will definitely find it one day.
Yeah. Something will work and something will not, but
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
yeah, but just keep
Yes.
moving on.
Yes. Keep moving on. Keep exploring till you find. Oh, this is for me.
Yeah.
Right. And the moment you find that this is for me, then slowly and slowly tune yourself, fine tune it, so that that becomes part of your life.
Right. Right. Amazing advice. Amazing. I mean, this is the philosophy of life that just okay. So moving on to our next question, and this would be the last question of today.
Okay.
And I want to know that because you are an expert in machine learning and artificial intelligence, and you have also co-authored a book, so we would like you to suggest our viewers who want to begin with ML and AI about some good resources for the same, and also the way they should go about it.
Okay. Now there are two, I would say there are basically two ways of exploring it. There is one, okay, I am doing my graduation and I want an immediate job after graduation. If that is your aim, then I would say go, um, take up some books, right, and do some projects,
Hmm.
hands-on projects, especially in the industry. Do some internship with the industry, deal up with some particular projects in the field of AI and ML. Please make your math strong. That is always needed, and programming is very important out here. Okay, but in the case you want to go for masters and PhD, then I would say in your graduation, especially, instead
Hmm.
of going to an industry internship, try
Hmm.
and go to an academic internship. Work with someone who is working in that field, even if it is remote. Okay, so and try to understand what research papers are. Try
Hmm.
to improve your writing so that you can also write a good research paper. Learn that. So that is possible only when you are associated with someone who is all well accustomed to writing research papers. So depending upon what is your path, accordingly choose it, and it has to start from graduation. Thinking ki, okay, after graduation, after masters I will decide. Okay, people do that also, but
Hmm.
obviously that takes up your time of life. So
Hmm.
if you want to be very focused, then from graduation itself decide that I want to go more into industry or more into higher studies, and then go into the job arena. Definitely, if you are more qualified and then you join the job arena, the chances of getting higher skill is obviously higher, and same is the chances of rise. But then again, everyone has their own circumstances. Some may not be able to afford higher studies just after graduation. They might think, okay, we will work for 2 3 years and then go for the higher education. So in that case, then make a balance. Do one internship in academics during your graduation, and do one internship in industry, especially the final year internship in the industry. So that helps. So
Hmm.
I think important part is uh, working with people who are working in the area. And again, there when you go, it's not that everyone will be very, especially in the industry, it doesn't happen that they are very eager to tell you what they
Hmm.
know. Right? In academics, teachers are still, we just want a student who is there and who is ready to listen. But
Right.
in industry, that is not always true.
Right.
So you should be ready to grasp that thing, knowledge from them. So ask
Hmm.
questions, try to understand. No one answers you, but still try and find out. So it's
Hmm.
more of a searching thing, right? That
Hmm.
is needed. Plus, right now, there are so many plethoras of YouTube channels. Fast.ai is there. Plus, a large number of online educational platforms are there. So one can definitely take an advantage of them depending upon what is your means. All right. So there are so many, even a Medium post comes. One can subscribe to Medium and choose the particular technology areas where one has interest, so that at least one is aware of what is happening in the state of life. And then doing is important. Just reading and just thing will not work. One has to take up problems. So Kaggle is one of the nice places where one can start up easily. So
Yeah.
I would say try and do that. That becomes important. And then there are large number of competitions always coming up. Kaggle is there, Tadpole is there, Microsoft comes up with competitions, hackathons happen. So involve yourself in all that, and that is the way to learn and even gain confidence. Because somewhere along the line you always have this thing, okay, do I really understand, do I really know? And that is the right
Mm-hmm.
question. I would not say this
Right.
is doubting yourself. This is the right question, because unless you have that question, you will not improve yourself. If you
Hmm.
think I know everything, no one knows everything.
Yeah.
There's so much happening that no one can know everything. All right. So it
Right.
is important to question oneself and try to find out where one has doubts, try to resolve them out and come up with new doubts. So that is a it's a continuous growing process altogether.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that is important. And thankfully we have a good internet speed. I can talk to you sitting here in a cafe home. That itself tells that there is nice speed happening. You can learn wherever you want,
Right.
right? So never stop learning. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. That I
Right.
think is more important.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was so great to be in talk with you, Amita ma'am. You are so inspiring, and given your hardships and the moments of strength, the kind of decisions you have taken in your life, the tough roadmap that you have created yourself and achieved it, and I'm sure that you will be more inspirational in future for every one of your student, because the way you talk and the way you have the way you have commanded and you have taken charge of your career, it's really inspirational. So I was really delighted to have a talk with you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank
It
you.
was my pleasure, Sruti. It was really my pleasure to talk to you. And I really wish the words and worth lot of good luck. And I hope you are able to carry it out to, our more women. And, we see more women in this particular field.
Sure, sure. Same
Yeah.
here. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining.
Thank you, Sruti.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.